Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Healthy, Happy, Wise, Wealthy. I have with us today David Dorfman with Rodent Stop. So, we are going to talk about ways to keep the pests out of our home and office building without using chemicals. And if you've been listening for a while, you know how much I do not like chemicals. So, I'm excited to have you on, David. I
Thank you.
wanted to mention we have a podcast sponsor, Mindiii, Mindii, which is an IT company, and they do basically keep your information safe, your customers' information safe, build great websites, all kinds of whatever IT services people need. So, David, so you guys are located in LA
Yes.
area and you don't use any kind of chemicals when you're out stopping pests. Why is that?
So first of all, we only deal with rats and mice.
Okay.
We're called rodent stuff, but we deal with rats and mice primarily because rats, actually, not even mice, cause the most problems. We don't use any poison, any chemicals, any sorts of anything that kills them because we actually don't believe in killing them, and we also don't believe we're going to win the war against rats. There's too many of them, so killing them is just not a solution. So we go through a couple of different steps, which are pretty much always done the same way, both for homes and businesses. It's a
Okay.
three-step system that we've been using for over 20 years, which basically includes, sealing all entry points, anything the size of a quarter for rats and a dime for baby rats and mice. Um, and that's all sorts of gaps, and then there are pretty common gaps, believe it or not, in every home. It's like we
Yeah.
have this checklist that we go through that, like, behind the AC and just common entry points that are regularly left open, and so we do that. Then we get rid of their scent of direction, which is key. So again, not killing them, getting rid of their scent because that's what's going to stop other rodents to be attracted to your property. So that urine scent that they leave behind, and people don't really know this, but they don't have a rats don't have a bladder, so they pee and poo about 50 times a day.
Ooh.
And that urine, they walk and urinate and poop, and so that urine gets soaked usually into the insulation, which is where they are, either in the attic or the crawl space. That's where nobody goes, and that's where nobody will bother them. And so, that's what they do. So we have to get rid of that scent. This is a very, very, very strong key element of our treatment, and this is also what allows us to give a lifetime warranty on every treatment. That's what we offer. And so getting rid of their scent, my dad actually, who's the co-owner of Rodent Stop, he's the one who invented this formula, which
Okay.
basically kills their scent of direction. It's not to kill them. So there's no chemicals in it. It's all organic. It's got like peppermint and the types of oils and stuff. But again, that's basically what we use to get rid of their scent. This will stop them from attracting and coming back. Because people will set traps and they're just catching more rats. And they're like, why? First of all, by the time you catch one, they probably have about 10, 12 babies. So
Mm.
that's one. But again, setting traps, and just constantly dealing with it is not a solution. The problem has to be stopped somewhere.
Right.
And unfortunately, this is one of the biggest things in this industry where, a lot of exterminators, whether it's pest or rodent, they just kind of do the contract thing. They put you on a contract, and you just kind of pay for them to maintain the problem, so to speak, not solve it. And most of the calls we get are like after people spent 80 to $150 a month for, I don't know, 6 months, and now, hey, they want to get rid of their exterminator because the problem still exists, and B, they need somebody who's going to take care of the problem, clean up, and get the house back to normal environment. And so
Yeah.
that's a big part of what we do is, again, sealing entry points, spraying to get rid of their scent. We also spray for disease, viruses, rat mites. But most importantly, removing some of those infested material is key. Like if there's an area in the attic that the insulation is infested, you usually want to remove that. Okay. Um, in the crawl space too. Not that I recommend for anybody to do it on their own, but that's technically what needs to be done. Now, unfortunately, you can go to the attic and find one small area that's infested after about a month. But 2 months, you see another area. 3 months, you see another area. 4 months, and then before you know it, the whole attic is infested, and all the insulation has to be removed. And that's actually one of the biggest costs in rodent damages. In the USA, there's about $20 billion in damages yearly. Number one is getting electricity wire chewed, which cause fires.
Yeah.
Uh, the second one is insulation, insulation replacement, taking it out, cleaning it, disinfecting, putting new insulation in. Like these are all costs. And appliance repair, they chew on appliance hoses because they're trying to find water source. They're really smart creatures.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things. So again, going back to the poison, you see everything we do is IPM, which is called integrated pest management, which does not require any poison, does not require any chemicals. It's done with like smartness. We're like preventing them from coming back, getting rid of what they left behind. And of course, the only time I told you we're not going to win the war against rats, but we'll set traps for anything left behind. After we seal everything, we don't want anything left behind because now they're going to make a
Right.
mess. So
Right.
part of the thing is setting some traps in order to monitor and see exactly where we are. Most
Yeah.
treatments take about 2 weeks, but on the first day everything gets done. It has to get
Yeah.
done on one day every treatment.
That makes a lot of sense. I had no idea they could get through in the size of a dime, a hole the size of a dime or a
The
quarter.
babies, yeah,
That's
the
so
babies.
small.
I
Yeah.
know.
I
I mean,
can
even a
see why it
quarter
can
for
be a
the
problem.
adults is so tiny.
Yeah, that's so tiny. So I can
Yeah.
see like when all the different things that have to go into your home with the air conditioning, I think you mentioned in the different pipes,
Mhm.
then it makes a lot of sense how you have to be real careful on putting you put like kind of a mesh wire around it or some seal it somehow. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a number of different materials that we use. Yes, there's obviously vents that we use, installing new wire mesh, sealing entry points around pipes. The garage door in the bottom, will seal that if it's damaged. Like any opening. I mean, the average house, probably around 60 openings. Think
It's a
about that.
lot.
Like
It's a
we'll pull
lot.
out appliances. Usually the dishwasher is a problem. We'll pull it out in almost every house because there's holes there. The kitchen is a big problem because that's where they come, to get food, and they can get there all the way from the attic, through the walls, and then come out in the wall behind, under the sink or behind the dishwasher. So these are common areas that we usually open because these are just contractors who have, they're there to run the pipe, not be concerned about rats,
Yeah.
and that's just building code, I guess.
Oh, and what a nightmare to have a infestation in your home or your office, either one. And I
Yeah.
imagine there's some health issues that would go along with that. Uh,
Yes, definitely. I mean, when it comes to commercial buildings, obviously, employees, nobody, the employees are in their own sensitive mind and, they don't want to be around it and stuff. And so,
mm-mm.
sometimes we get called because somebody saw some urine stains on the ceiling, which is a drop ceiling, so those will need to be replaced in some cases. Uh, but yeah, in regular homes, like in the attic itself, yeah, they people a lot of times don't go up there. A lot of the older people that own these homes for many many years, they've had ongoing infestation. Their attic are completely infested. They're
Oh,
they're crawl spaces, and they don't even know anything about it. They don't go up there. They don't hear so well, and so it's they just don't know about it. Um, and
yeah.
so those are problematic. Yeah, you have to you a lot of people go to the doctor. A lot of people go on allergy medication. A lot of them go to are going through different health issues, different type of allergies, and really irritating skin stuff, all because like there's somehow whatever is in their attic or in their crawl space is getting into their living space.
Yeah.
And so,
Ugh.
like recess lighting are very common to be unsealed. So like you could literally point a flashlight on it. Like if somebody's moving around your alley, you could literally see particles when the light is on. You see particles
On the
from there
ceiling?
in the ceiling, yeah, right where the recess light is. Like so that
Oh,
stuff is
gotcha.
coming into the air, into the living space, getting people sick.
Okay.
Um,
Through the lights and
so
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
big thing. Another big thing is air ducts, air heating and air conditioning air ducts. The rats love getting into those. So they'll chew a hole through it, and then they'll poop in there and pee in there, and that pipe, that particular vent goes to like one room. Could be the baby's room, could be the father, anybody's room.
Right.
Okay, and it just blows this air that's now mixed with urine and insulation and bad stuff that's
Mm-hmm.
going into your air. This is a very, very, very common thing. Very common. Like this happens a lot because it's one of the major damages that they cause out there.
Yeah.
Is chewing
And
through air ducts.
it does sound like such a nightmare. And I can see how just trying to trap them and get rid of them, but they keep coming back because they're leaving that scent. Makes sense why you have to stop them from being able to find their way in. So I guess it's kind of like ants do
Yeah.
that too. They leave a trail. Uh,
Yeah.
um,
So
yeah,
ants, as you know, they don't cause the problems that rodents do.
no,
They're just a pest, but they don't really
right,
make the damages. They don't make damages like rats do. They don't leave health conditions behind. Like they don't do any of that stuff. And so
right.
rats are really at a different level. And rats are actually known to be not only the smartest of all pests, but also the most problematic, the most costly. Like
Ugh,
taking care of a rodent issue, it's such a good investment. Such a good investment. However you do it.
yeah, for your health and for and you know, of course, if you try to sell a home or buy a home and there's some kind of
Sure.
pest situation, forget that sale probably won't go
Yeah.
through,
For
or
your health and
costly.
for your home's health.
Yeah, both of those things.
Yeah. Very
Whew.
important. And yes, we do a lot of inspections. People are buying homes, selling homes. Um, we'll do a lot of inspections, and some people, they hear of a rat problem, they don't want to deal with it, and some, don't know the extent of it. But yeah, there's a lot of people who actually buy new homes, and the inspector missed it. I don't know if on purpose or by accident, but they missed the rodent infestation, the existing one, the old one, and this stuff should have been cleaned as part of escrow. As you know what I mean? Before
Right.
these people moved in the house, because 2 3 months later, all of a sudden they're seeing droppings in the kitchen. There's new life in the home, and there's new rats in the home, and it's like, where do they come from? Why did they come?
Yeah. So and you did say in LA, especially is it been getting worse over the years? You've been doing this for 20 years with rat infestation? And why do you think that
It's
is?
Yes, it's definitely been getting worse, and not only in here in California, but I personally think the reason it's been getting worse is because, and I said this in the beginning, by the time you catch one, 12 are born, and if you do that on a big scale, times 1 million homes who might have an issue, where there's a lot more than 1 million homes. Probably in the United States, I would say between 30 and 40% have a rodent issue, a rat problem. Either had one, have one, will have one. So
Mm,
the numbers are really, really big, really, really high. They're up there. So, and the reason, just so you know, the reason, like, what invites a rodent? Like, why was somebody who, let's say, didn't have a rodent, has a rodent all of a sudden? Usually, it's the dogs. 99%
okay.
of my clients are dog owners. Um, the dogs and the rats are very, very, very alike. They have a lot of similarities, a ton of similarities.
Really?
Uh, yeah, yeah. From being born pink to getting their fur, the digestive system, scent, their way their scent works, like their brain, just incredible. Just and very smart, just very, very, very alike. And so their urine also is very, very alike. Um, And
Oh,
so the dogs pee in the yard and the rats smell it, and then they come and they'll feed off the dog poop for a while, and then they kind of look for the source, which is the dog food. So it's usually in the garage or the pantry. They'll look for that. Usually, undetected for about 3 months, easily undetected by anyone except the dog. So, people see the dog, scratching on a wall, making noise. It's not nothing. There's something there.
okay.
Yeah.
And I doubt people are getting rid of their dogs because of this. So most people are going to want to keep their dogs, even if they are attracting rodents.
No, absolutely. But the problem
Yeah,
is that, a lot of them just know of a solution, which is poison, which is not a solution because a lot of dogs are getting hurt by this. Um, and it's a big, big problem. Not to mention other wildlife. You have hawks, you have owls. Like they're picking this up now. Like if a rat dies in your yard, the dog could go play with it, put it in their mouth, whatever, 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 and then get poisoned that way. Now, if the
right.
rat doesn't make it to the yard and ends up dying in your wall, now you have another problem getting him out of the wall. No, that's going to be very hard to do. So poison is definitely not recommended. I don't know why they sell it, but it's not a solution. So the pet owners, obviously, they don't want to use poison. A lot of them don't want
Mm,
to use poison. And so that's one of the biggest thing that, we're able to offer is not use any poison, not around their dogs. And a lot of the treatments that we'll go to, we'll see poison like around the property in boxes, and we'll just take them away because they're there in these boxes and they're supposedly pet safe because the dog can't get into it, but they can. If the rat dies in the yard, they can get to it, and
right.
so that's like the discrepancy about how pet safe it really is.
Yeah. So before you were doing this, you were doing air quality. Yes.
Yes, yeah.
How
Me and my
did
dad
how
were. Sorry
well,
about that.
tell me about that. Sorry. It's okay. Tell me about the air quality business. Like how, because I'm sure there's some connection with the two.
Yeah, sure, of course. So, the name of a corporation, the air quality business that we had was called Doctor Air Care Health Solutions Inc. Okay, and now it's DBA Rodent Stop. But basically, how we had started, a lot of the calls that we were getting. So we were performing physical air inspections, not with gadgets, like going and checking and opening stuff and seeing if it's mold, if it's rodents, if it's just bad air quality from dust mite to collective stuff that's been collecting, like cooking oil, skin flake, dust mite, all the stuff that accumulates. And
Yeah.
so this was one of our specialty is finding where the problem was coming from. And one of the things that we saw that a lot of the calls and a lot of the problems was coming from rodent problems, them causing, damages in the ducts, them peeing and pooping in the attics, and whether it's blown insulation or road insulation, and just like creating a really bad environment. And so we over time made the switch because I came from a background of construction. My dad is like a chemist. I'm not gonna say a mad chemist because he's not mad, but just a chemist, and he was able to create this formula, which again is genius because it's not to kill them; it's just to get rid of their scent. So now you get rid of the magnet. No more
Yeah.
magnet.
Yeah.
And like I said, that's what allows us to give a lifetime guarantee. And it works. It works. The system works. The treatment works. Very easy. We do the same thing. Like I said, whether it's a 1,200 square foot house or a 300,000 square foot building, doesn't matter. It's done the same exact way.
Yeah. When you first came on, my thought was, I wonder why they don't want to kill them. And now it makes sense to me because what I'm hearing you say is they will get caught in the house as they die, and there will be a dead rotting animal in your house then,
In your
and
walls,
in
yeah.
your
And,
walls.
and after the maggots are gone and the flies are gone, then
Ugh,
you just have a dead body. You don't want a
ugh,
cemetery for a home.
no. Ew, that's yeah. All that and then all that stuff. Yeah. So don't kill them in your home, and if you kill them outside the home, then another your pet, your dog, something else can get to them and get poisoned, or wildlife. And
Well, listen,
That
putting
makes so much
poison.
sense.
This is the difference between putting poison and just setting a trap. Because when you set a trap, you know where it is, you know where you put
Mm-hmm.
it, where you know where to look and monitor it. Versus poison that takes some time. So you're eating it here, and then you're all of a sudden dying over there.
Oh, yeah,
Sad,
yeah.
sad.
So you don't want dying carcasses in your
No,
home.
absolutely not.
I think that makes so much sense to me now. That is the explanation I needed as to why you would not want to just make sure they were dead. But
Yeah, I mean, I told you
yeah.
we'll do completely minimal kill for really anything that's left behind. And and because they're nocturnal, most of the time that they won't be there during the day. Of course, after 6 months, they're no longer nocturnal. But in those times, it's easy to do it because we know they're not there. We'll set the trap, expect it for, about 5 days for a 2 week period, and then after the monitor will let us know, okay, we're done. That's it. Certificate, lifetime here, done. Call us
That's
in the
great.
future if you have any problems.
So it takes about a month to get rid of them, and then you
Two
expect them
weeks.
to never 2 weeks, and then you
Yeah,
expect
yeah,
them to
two
never come
weeks.
back after that.
Yeah, yeah, and you have a warranty. It's different for businesses and commercial properties. Um, so it really depends on the building and the type of structure, but we do have a 1 year and a 5 year warranty, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as, like I said, homes, any size home, crawl space, attic, both, garage, anything infested can be treated um, and taken care of.
Yeah. So for people who aren't in the LA area and they have a rat infestation, what kind of questions should they be asking when they call around for services?
Um, if the exterminator actually, perform sealing entry points and cleanup and scent elimination, or are they just setting traps or poison? And if that's the case, don't do it. Don't do it. Like I always
Yeah.
recommend for people to set traps themselves. Like you can get pre-baited traps now.
Mm-hmm.
That are pre-baited. Just put it and you let the thing get caught. Easy. But definitely don't pay for that. And if you're not sure how long the problem's been going on, like if you know it's been going on for years versus if you know it's been going on for months or just weeks, that's
Mm-hmm.
that's going to determine a lot of stuff. I recommend setting a trap not more than 30 days of the situation, between 30 to 90 days max. You should still set traps. After that, you got to get professional help.
Yeah. Okay. So 30 to 60 days. And if that doesn't get rid of it, then call for extra help. But I
Yeah.
can see how they could keep coming back if they're following that scent trail. So that makes sense too for that. But you don't want that to happen. Yeah.
You know?
And I think it's great that you guys go to the source, and that's been your whole thing, that you go to the source of what the air pollution, indoor air pollution is. And obviously, this is such a massive indoor air issue.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Major,
Well,
major, major. I mean, some of these bad infestations will open the wall, will open every wall. Every wall is full of droppings. The installation is like it's really bad. Like these things get really bad because we don't see it. Nobody sees it.
yeah, yeah. So to switch gears, I love family-owned businesses, and you've been working with your dad for a long time. Um,
Yeah.
what would you say are pros and cons of a family-owned business?
Um, keep your distance. No, just kidding.
Don't do
Nah,
it.
I
Not
talk to
kidding.
my dad. I talk to my dad every day because he's my dad, not necessarily because he's my business partner. I like checking on my parents daily
Yeah.
and my brother. Um, my brother's a really busy guy, but I try. But yeah, I talk to my dad regularly, and like I said, we've been doing this for a long time, and in the last 8 years, I got married, I started having children, and now I'm a dad, and so
Yeah.
the things switch. Now he tells me what to do, you know. and I tell my kids more what to do. Like, it's just, but he sees that, you know, I always deliver. So I think I got his respect by now. Um, we like I said, because we've been doing this for a long time, we've now we just kind of operating, on like the bigger scale, with management and stuff. And we just came out with a new product, which is the home defense kit for rats and mice, which is actually a product for people who are nationwide, who obviously we
Oh,
cannot service. Yeah, yeah, it's basically our treatment in a box.
okay.
Uh, yeah, yeah, comes with a map, where common entry points are. Comes with all the material. We don't require any tools. Comes with a rodent activity detection light, scent disruption spheres that you just throw in the attic or the crawl space. You don't have to even go in there. We just made it really easy. We technically made it for seniors, who cannot move around so much and to be able to get rid of their problem. And so this is our treatment in a box. Like I said, it's called the Home Defense Kit for rats and mice. You can get it
Great.
online at rodentcontroltoyourdoor.com.
Great.
Yeah, and this product it's been great. It works really well. Usually, like I said, it's probably 3 to 5 months. If you deal with a problem longer than that, you're gonna require cleanup. Like all that's great, but you're gonna require cleanup. And if you want to
Yeah.
throw a bunch of spheres in there instead of the like recommended amount, to get rid of their odors, that's great. But like, it's like a health issue, and there's a lot of reasons why you should take it out.
Right.
There's just insane amount of homes and walls and crawl spaces that are infested. It's like in the billions and billions of square footage.
Oh my gosh. And just so many respiratory issues I can imagine and other things that can come from that.
Oh,
Uh,
many, 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 many.
yeah. Yeah. So, okay, tell me the website again where people can order that.
The kit, yeah, you go to rodentcontroltoyourdoor.com.
Rodentcontroltoyourdoor.com. And
Yeah.
do you ship across the United States,
Yeah,
outside the United
yeah.
States?
Free shipping. We only deal in the United States.
Okay.
Because like I said, like all this material and stuff has been designed for home United States homes. Um, and we're also only dealing with roof rats, black rats, or nowhere rats, as opposed to I don't know some like you know
Arctic rat.
maybe
I don't know.
like maybe some
Some
terrorist
other
rats.
some terrorist rats. I think all rats are terrorists. We could
They
probably
really,
we
really, really are.
could
They're all just
yeah.
terrorists.
Oh gosh.
Funny, but yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
the damage to me.
I'm so glad you guys came up with something, especially if your dad has a special formula that he came up with to get rid of the scent. So that's
Yeah.
so great that you guys do that.
Yeah,
And
and the thing about it is that like even if somebody was to get a hold of my formula, you still need to do the other thing. Like you can't just spray the formula. You have to do the other things for the whole treatment to
yeah,
work together. You like
right.
it's like a pattern. You can't trap before you seal the holes. You can't seal the holes before you clean up. Like there's just a whole pattern that we do, and it's in a timely matter, and it's in a timely order, and so the formula is very important,
Yeah.
but it definitely you need those other steps.
Yeah. So the steps are you have to get rid of them before you seal it up. Is that what you said? Before you seal up the holes, that you get rid of the
Yeah, like sealing up, like I told you, most of the treatments are done in one day. So like
yeah.
if you seal the holes and then you wait 3 days and it like you have to do it in the right order. So like sealing the hole, if you seal the holes, make sure you set some traps so whatever cannot get out, that if you don't clean up, they might not even go for the traps because they eat their own poop. So,
Oh,
usually when you
so
clean up, they're
gross.
looking for food and then now they'll go for the traps. So there's like all these crazy little things that nobody knows.
Yeah. But you got to clean it up, otherwise you're still going to have your indoor air pollution issues.
I
So if you don't
recommend
get
cleaning
rid
it
of
up both for rodent control and home safe and safety, health and safety. Absolutely.
yeah, that makes so much sense. Okay, so going back to the question of working with your doing your own business, maybe working with a relative. If someone is thinking about starting to go into business with a family member, what advice would you have for them?
Um, don't no no just kidding. Listen, I think that just like family members, people, humans, everybody should do their part, and then you have no problem. Because no matter what, even in a marriage, like if somebody's doing everything, then it's just not fair, and it doesn't matter if you're related or not. And so,
Right.
if your
True.
family member, does their part, then there shouldn't really be a problem. And
Right.
my dad's always done his part. I've always done my part. Even my mom, who's like my dad's partner. She oversees a lot of expenses and things. We order a lot of material. We have a few warehouses full of materials, screens, installation, just everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we visit about 50 homes a day.
That's a lot.
I know it's a lot. We
Yeah.
visit about 50 homes a day. We cover 5 counties here in Southern California, which is about a 100-mile radius from our
Hmm.
office in Van Nuys. And yeah, we're able to do a lot. But again, everything is coordinated and everybody does their part. And we started really small, really small. I remember I used to go on, sometimes if somebody calls in sick, I used to go on 12 appointments a day. 12 appointments a day.
That's
It was
so
nuts.
many. That's so many.
I
I don't
know.
even know how you do that.
I don't even know how I did it, but
I don't
when
either.
you're the
Yeah.
owner, you have this fire and it's just unreplaceable. It's like
Yeah.
it's just that fire, that fuel that wants to keep you going. And we're busy. We're getting the calls, and we need to go out there. We need to go help these people.
Yeah. I really like that advice in part because it does seem like whenever I've heard of someone's business not working out well, it is usually someone says one person is doing so much of the work and someone else is riding the coattails of the work one person is doing. So that would make a whole lot of sense that whoever you're in business is, and maybe you don't even know until you're in business with them, needs to be a hard worker and uh, someone who's going to really be doing what they need to be doing, what you're expecting them to do.
Yeah.
Great, great advice and kind of so common sense
Thank you.
too.
Yeah, just literally like do what you say. That's it. No BS, no excuses, no like any of that. And you know what? My dad, he raised me really well. Both me and my brother are very alike in that, and we just do what we have to do.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. I love that. That when family owned businesses and really make it, and I like to have a lot of them on the show. Smaller businesses, a lot are family owned, um, family run, but because the product is it's usually so solid and
Right.
well done with smaller business. And you guys aren't are small. I'm just saying in juxtaposition of these massive companies.
Yeah,
So
no, listen, we might be big, in our own world, but we're 80, 10, 100-mile radius is a big area, and so we're small.
yeah,
Compared to the United States, we're small, and that's actually one of the reasons we invented this do-it-yourself kit for the
mm,
homes is because we get calls all the time. No matter how we do SEO searches and negative keywords, they still find us and call us from like different states, like wanting this makes sense to them, getting rid of their scent, sealing, doing all that.
right,
When you come see us, and unfortunately, we have to say no because we just can't. Our operation
yeah,
is here
right.
and
Too expensive to fly to to I don't say
wherever.
Denver, something, yeah, to go
Yeah,
do something, yeah,
wherever.
way, yeah, some way
And
out
it's
of
not
the
even plane. What
area,
are we going to carry all our materials with us? And
right,
it's
yeah,
not feasible. And because we're a family business, we have our roots here in Los Angeles. All our families here. my kids, my
Mm-hmm.
brother's kids. Like this is home.
Right. Yeah.
So, if one day a corporation wants to, buy us out and take this, throughout, great. We're all open to it. But me and my dad, we can't handle that. It's too much for us.
Yeah, for sure. Well, David, I really appreciate all your wisdom on this. Anything else you'd like to share with the audience for you before we take off?
Um, no, not really. I think we covered a lot.
We did cover a whole lot of ground, didn't we?
Yeah,
So, yeah. Well, thank you for the work you're doing and for explaining it in a way that makes so much sense to me, as, a way to take care of something in our home so that our homes are safe, because we need our homes to be safe. We need our businesses to
absolutely.
be safe. The offices where we're working need to be safe. Air quality needs to be good. So,
Absolutely.
yeah. Well, wish you all the best. Thank you, David. I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Mary.
Did you like that? You can watch more episodes here, subscribe over here. We actually have new episodes with awesome guests every Thursday, so check back in. Is that all?